This is a review of Veho. Veho is one of the latest gig app employers that capitalizes on desperate job seekers that don't have many other options. Since I didn't find many reviews on Veho, I decided to give an honest assessment so that it would save future inquirers of this app and of this company some very valuable time. As soon as I got the app downloaded, I noticed another problem. There were no deliveries posted in my area and no one to speak to even confirm if I had downloaded the correct app. I was trying not to be negative. I was going to give Veho yet another chance to be legit. So I kept checking back until I finally saw one delivery opportunity in my dashboard. So now, this was my chance to finally see what Veho was about by showing up at their warehouse for my first delivery. Keep in mind, this was still a little awkward because I had already Googled Veho's warehouse location in my city and came up with absolutely nothing. So I was somewhat skeptical, thinking I could just look up their warehouse location in my city and it would just pop up, but nothing came up. I wanted to remain optimistic, so I didn't want to be negative about it. I wanted to give these guys a chance. So I went ahead and I didn't delete the app. I kept it in and I was going to give these guys a few days to respond and to see and to prove if their company and their gig application or their gig job was legit. After a few days of really nothing, no communication from these guys other than submitting my information for direct deposit and my bank information and doing a background check. I passed all of that with flying colors, and I would get an email from these guys every now and then telling me to just kind of hang on. The process is now underway that they're going to make me a delivery driver. Lo and behold, I finally got the app loaded, and there were a couple of different apps in Google Play, so I didn't really know which one to actually load or which one they were going to use because Veho never told me. I did send a message to their chat group, and I sent a message to their support group. There's obviously no one working in support in my city, and I got a message back from a lady via chat, which was just somebody, I think it was after hours as well, just telling me just to hang in there, that there are no deliveries available in my city yet, and she wouldn't even give me the location of the warehouse. So I'm thinking, scam? Not a scam, just a company that is doing this gig stuff 10, 15 years after Uber started it, and they have no processes and procedures that are even better than Uber had 15 years ago. So that raised a red flag to me right off the bat, and we're not even at the point of compensation yet. Oh, upon being given instructions by the application to report for my first delivery, I was excited but a little bit hesitant, a little bit skeptical about driving for Veho because everyone knows that these gig jobs don't pay. I mean, they get you in there when you first start working for them. You can make a little bit of money. They do that to entice you and get you feeling real good about it. But these jobs will not sustain you for consistent employment with consistent amount of income over a consistent amount of time. They always come up short. I decided to give Veho a chance, so I hung in there, and I'm just going to kind of tell you what happened, and we'll go from there. I'll let you be your own judge about whether or not you're going to invest your time into Veho as a driver or as an employee. I mean, they are offering some jobs via employment, straight W-2 income, although I was pursuing mostly subcontractor, 1099 type of employment as a driver. So what had happened was, the next thing that happened was, I looked in my driver dashboard and I saw a delivery that offered $54 for the delivery. Now, at first, I had no idea how many packages I had to deliver to get that $54, but I was excited about finding out what was really going to go down. So I showed up at the warehouse bright and early. When I got to the warehouse, the application had given me an address, which was to the warehouse, but this address has not been posted anywhere on Google. So when I tried to Google it, I didn't find it. So that led me to believe that they weren't going to have any driving delivery jobs available in my city. But the app, I was scrolling across the app, and it did tell me what time the drives come in. And so I was lucky enough to see one pop in my dashboard. And it turns out that they want me to do 24 deliveries in a 4-hour time frame. So I show up at the warehouse. There are no signs or anything out there to tell you where to go. You just got to have to figure it out. I drove around to the back of the building. I saw 4 other cars already in line. So I figured, hey, I better get in line before all the other cars line up. So as of 7:45, I was supposed to be there between 7:45 and 8. I was there at like 7:35. And I got in line, and no one came out to the car or anything. There was just a line of cars out there waiting to go inside the warehouse. I had seen a video on YouTube or somewhere that was showing people in a warehouse getting loaded. I think it was on Veho's website. It showed people in their warehouse, drivers in their warehouse, loading their cars up and getting ready for that day's load. Now, what was really weird about it was that Veho doesn't want you, they want you to drive a car, okay? A car because it's quick, it's easy, gets better gas mileage, but they want it to be a big car. They say it cannot be any smaller than a 4-door Maxima. And that's the car that they basically based everything on. So they said SUVs work well, of course, because they have hatches, hatchbacks, or whatever, lift gates and all of that. So they're always convenient to be able to store stuff in the back of an SUV. But I had no idea how many packages or how much space these packages would take up when I got there to deliver them. So I get there to deliver them, and I wait in line, and I see the cars going up. Some guy waves me in. I drive up a ramp into their little warehouse. Guy tells me to go and park in section C and start loading my packages. So when I got there, basically my packages were already on a crate, a big, what do you call it? Just a big rolling case or something like that, where all of the packages could fit on it, right? So they were numbered 1 through 24, okay? And I had to take out my cell phone and scan each package 1 through 24 into my vehicle to let them know that I was about to load that particular package into my vehicle. So once I did that, a guy came over who helped me. He said, make sure you load from back to front. He said, if you got 24 packages, load 24, 23, 22, 21, like that in your vehicle so that, uh, the ones in the front are the ones to be delivered first are in the back of your vehicle. So you would have easy access to them. So that's what I did. But anyway, I finally get these 24 packages inside my car. It was tough fitting them all in. I even had to put a few in the front seat. And these guys know it's going to be difficult to get 24 packages in. You really have to have stuff everywhere. But they know that. That's why they tell you not to bring anything in there smaller than a 4-door maximum. But I'm sitting there with all of these packages in there. I barely got enough room to even look out of my mirrors on the side because I got packages everywhere. They're nice, clean, square packages. There were some food deliveries from some kind of food company, and you could tell the stuff in there. Some of it was kind of cold, had a little chill on it, and some stuff was just like rice or beans or something. You could kind of hear it shaking around. So, anyways, the boxes varied in sizes. There were some small ones and some medium-sized ones. Okay, but mostly medium-sized ones. Okay, and the only thing I had to do basically was deliver each separate box to 24 separate addresses, and I had to scan a picture of the item on their porch delivered, as well as their house number. So those two things I had to scan after doing each delivery. So what happens is their app, the Veho driver app, is not a very good app. So I had problems uploading the photos on like two of my drives, and I kept having to go back and do it over and over again. And keep in mind, I'm being timed. These people said I should be able to do this in a 4-hour time frame, which is basically what I ended up doing. So anyway, I'm sitting there and I'm looking at all of the packages that I have to deliver. Now, thank God they were all within a 63-mile radius. Okay, usually they were about a mile to the most was like 3 miles away. The most I had to go. So it was just one drive to the next in like 2 and 3 minute increments. I was doing it as fast as I could, and I don't think anybody could have done it any faster. And I did finish in about 4 hours or something like that, pretty close to that. Now, I didn't get my packages and everything loaded up into my car. They allowed me to go into the warehouse at about 8 a.m., but I didn't get loaded and everything, and they didn't explain to me what had to be done and I got out of there at about 8:35. So I'm sitting there. I've scanned them all into my phone, and now I'm in the app, and now it's giving me directions on where my first delivery is, and I just went from there. I knew I had to deliver 24 packages, and I tried to do them as fast as I possibly could. Now, here's the killer. Of those 24 deliveries, in a 4-hour time frame, I was paid $54. That averages out to about $2.25 per package. Okay, that's nonsense. That is no way anyone could work under that type of payment system. Now, keep in mind, that isn't even taking into consideration the $12 that it cost me to drive those 63 miles to get those packages delivered. So if you take out my gas money out of there, which cost me $11.38, you take that out of the $54, I think I end up grossing something like $42.63. You divide that by four, that averages out to about $10.65 per hour. A little bit above minimum wage, but definitely not the amount I was looking for to be able to keep doing this job. The moral of the story is right now it's not economically prudent or sensible to deliver for Veho because they simply don't pay enough. And that is the case with most of these gig employers. They only pay you enough to get you happy and get you excited to start the program. But once you do it, you realize the odds are against you making any profit at all. And they're just using your vehicle, the wear and tear on your car, and they're getting over like a rover. I mean, if they're only paying me an average of $2.25 per delivery, think about how much they're charging the customer to deliver. If they're charging the customer $20 or $15 or whatever to deliver that item, and they're only paying me $2, where's all the profit going? I mean, a fair amount of compensation for the amount of work that I did for the 25 packages would have been about $150. I mean, that would have been a fair amount of compensation. So here these guys are only paying $50 when they should be paying about $150. So that will show you and that will tell you that it's not smart to go out here and do a gig job like this. The thing that hasn't even been mentioned is tips. Um, of my 24 deliveries, I only came into contact with 3 people that were home during the day. Okay, the rest of these people were at work, so I only had 3 opportunities for someone to even think about giving me a tip, and I don't even know if it's within Veho's policy to tip. I think they tell their customers that they don't have to tip. Okay, it's totally opposite of like uh, you know, Uber Eats or some of those other guys because, I think they have the tip policy clearly indicated to the client. But, yeah, as far as tips, I had no chance of getting any tips today. So I do want to make that quite clear. Okay. So, there was all kind of red flags telling me not to do this, not to waste my time, but I wanted to try it anyway, and I figured I'd go ahead and put a video out here to help anyone that's thinking about doing this for this company. Now, I'm not saying just because I can't do it successfully. I can do it successfully, but just because it doesn't pay me the money that I expect it to pay, that it won't pay you the money that you expect it to pay. I mean, who knows? You might be able to go in there and have someone to talk to and have someone to communicate with and feel really good about this and do it and make good money. But I wasn't able to, okay? And I'm just keeping it real. Creepiest thing about the whole scenario was that there was nobody to talk to. Nobody came out to my car. Nobody greeted me. Nobody called me to say, hey, welcome to the company. You passed your background test. You passed, everything else. We're here to train you. We're just a phone call away. There's nobody to talk to. Absolutely no one. Leads you to believe you're working for a computer system and not a human being. So that was the first red flag. I knew that I wasn't going to like delivering for this company, but I do want to point that out that the signs showed that it was pretty much like Uber. When I worked for Uber back in the day, there was no one to talk to. If you ever had a problem with your pay or what you were getting paid, since there's no one to talk to, you have no recourse but to sit there and wait it out. And they're going to do exactly what they want to do. You have no recourse. If you were paid wrong or whatever, they're going to say the computer doesn't make mistakes. And they're not going to pay you anything extra. So that was one of the reasons why it didn't work out for me with Uber. But I wanted to give these guys a chance to see if their system had developed anything different from what Uber and Postmate and some of those guys are doing. But it appears that these guys have just basically jumped on the bandwagon. They haven't done anything to improve the processes and procedures for the driver, and they're just looking to basically scam drivers to use their cars, use their vehicles, use all the wear and tear on their vehicles. And once you finally wake up and understand that you're never going to make any money on this, you'll leave right away. And that's what they're banking on. See, they're not even banking on the fact that they're going to put out this program, they're going to answer all your questions, they're going to have someone there to talk to so that you'll keep coming back, because they want the opposite of that. They want everybody that come in there every morning to basically be their first and last opportunity, because I can't see very many people sticking with this, knowing that they only pay $54 for like 24 separate deliveries. And I looked across some of their other cities, not just the city that I live in, and some of the other cities are the same. $55, $54, $52, $56, for like 17, 18 to 25 deliveries. So it's not really that much of a scale difference in different cities. I don't know where these guys are the most prominent in. I think they're based out of Florida. But I can tell you right now, absolutely nothing is happening in Oklahoma City where I live. And they won't even publish the warehouse and let you know where the warehouse is. They only do that through the app when there's a delivery available. There's absolutely no one to talk to. I don't even know if I'm going to get paid for what I did today, because the app just says finish your route. And when I finished my route, it gave me some type of survey to do to ask me how I was doing or what I thought about working for the company. And as I was trying to do it, it just went away. So, needless to say, it has not been a very thorough experience with Veho. So for anyone out there who were thinking about driving for Veho, I say it's not a good idea. I say it's not profitable. I say there's one review on Google that says that they pay $54 and that there are too many deliveries to spread out $54, and he was exactly right. He hit it right on the head. I read that review, but I wanted to see for myself if it was true, and it is. So you can go on Google or somewhere, and you can see the review where the guy says that there's just simply not enough money left out of $54 to do 24 deliveries. I think you're averaging something like a couple of bucks per package, and that won't work on any level in anybody's system. I don't care if you live in the country and you don't have a mortgage, gas prices are the cheapest, you don't have any overhead at all, you still can't make it off $2 and something per delivery. I mean, it's just pitiful. They should be paying about $150 something for that, where a person can, average $12 or so, for his hours spent. I mean, not so much as just per package, but just for the time spent. If someone goes out and spends 4 hours doing these deliveries and putting 65 miles on their car, they deserve better compensation than $54. So anyway, hopefully I'm putting them on blast. Hopefully a lot of people will see this review, and hopefully it will save you a lot of time and a lot of effort and a lot of money. Thank you very much for listening. Goodbye and God bless.